Welcome to the Tribune Scouting Report. I'm Jennifer Fierro here in the film room of the Burnet High School Fieldhouse. The Bulldogs are coming off a 23-20 win over Gatesville, which makes the bye week extremely enjoyable. We're going to ask head coach Doyle Walker about that big win and exactly how his Bulldogs are spending the bye week. In addition, we're going to hear from legendary coach Spike Dykes about Central Texas football. All that and more on the Tribune Scouting Report coming right up.
Fall season in Texas calls for Sunday afternoons with friends, football, and of course, barbecue. At Bill Smith Butane, we take care of your fuel needs. Refill your propane bottles at one of our convenient locations and save big money on regular exchange prices. Bill Smith Butane.
Thanks for staying with me. Joining me is the head football coach here at Burnet High School, Doyle Walker. And Coach, congratulations. Another hard-fought victory on the road against Gatesville. I think now this is a two-game winning streak for y'all, winning 23-20. Kind of summarize that ball game for us.
Hey, it was a hard-fought game. Gatesville is very talented, and they're much improved over the last couple of years. And you know, they have some excellent players. And I tell you what, they gave us all we wanted, and our kids were scrapping from the start of that game to the very finish, and we were fortunate enough to hang on and come out with a win.
Do you feel like this is another confidence builder, especially for your young guys who, I don't know if they're still feeling their way for the varsity level and the speed of the varsity level, but how would you characterize it?
I think here again we continue to grow, and our younger kids continue to get more experience, and that's a good thing. And I felt we matured a lot from that game.
Coach, I know y'all are experiencing a bye this week in preparation for the start of District 25 3A play. You're sitting at 3-2. While I think you'd like to have a few more wins, are you about where you wanted to be for this time of the year?
I think so. You know, I felt like, you know, with a little bit of luck, we could have beat Marble Falls. Giddings was probably in a different class than what we were at this point in time in the early part of the season. You know, I'd like to have another shot at them right now, but I think our kids have gotten better as we've played these last 5 ball games, and I would say we're probably about where we should be.
Okay, so you feel good about the progress that your team has made so far?
Yeah, I think so. I feel really good about some of the positions that we've got our younger kids in, and kids who didn't have any varsity experience, our junior class, and even some of our seniors too that had only played JV ball. So I feel like, you know, these games have given us a good opportunity to grow and get better and learning experiences. You're
taking a bye.
Mm-hmm.
How are you spending these 5 days here?
Work. Yesterday we didn't work out Monday. You know, we came back and after school we watched film, you know, of Gatesville and got that behind us. We hit the weight room yesterday morning and did our conditioning. We felt like we needed to continue doing that, and this morning we did the same thing, weight room and conditioning, and this afternoon we'll have an hour on each side of the ball. So offense and defense, and you know, we're going to get back in a routine and hopefully we can get down what, you know, Lampasas does with their offense. And it's not easy to simulate that type of offense. You've got to change everything that you do, and it's pretty difficult. And sometimes, you know, there's just no way you can do it. So hopefully we'll have that down by next week where we can get a better look at it.
Yeah, Lampasas still running the slot T, 4-1 on the season right now, I believe. The last time I checked the standings. Without getting specifically into your injury report, I don't want to talk specific names. I know you really can't anyway. But as far as injuries go, do you feel like the injuries have been kind to you? Not so much. Do you feel like you're healing up?
You know, we came out of the Gatesville game bruised and beaten a little bit, but I don't think we came out with any serious injuries. I think we got some bumps and bruises, and I think we're gonna overcome those this week in the bye week, which came at a good time for us.
I know that you have a lot of teams right now, I believe in the vast majority of your District 25 3A teams all have winning records. I think this is a bye for the entire district this week. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. Everyone has a bye this week, and we're all getting ready for each other. And so, you know, we can start district off next week with a bang, and it's very important that you win that first district ball game and kind of put you in the driver's seat. So we're gaming up, you know, gearing up for that part of it.
Okay. All right, Coach. Appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you again next week in preparation for the Lion Paxos game.
I appreciate it.
We'll be right back.
Caring for you like family is not just our motto, it is our commitment to our patients. At Texas Hills Urgent Care Centers, our highly trained nurses, physicians, and staff know that your health and your family's health are important. With weekend and evening hours, Texas Hills Urgent Care Centers is here for all your family's health care needs, including treatment for illnesses, injuries, school and travel vaccinations, as well as many other services. Located on Highway 71 in Bee Cave and on Highway 281 in Marble Falls, convenient and professional medical care is just around the corner.
We're back. Joining me now is the legendary Spike Dykes, Texas Tech head football coach. Has lived in this area for a long, long time. Has had a lot of chances and opportunities to go out and see a lot of football. Of course, you know, I want to ask you about the Burnet Bulldogs, the number one, in my opinion, the number one program here in Burnet County. Obviously, the one that's had the most success the last decade. 3-2 on the season, Coach, but they're experiencing a bye this week. What are the coaches and players doing right now as we speak?
Well, the bye week is usually it's good news, bad news. You know, the good news is you don't have to play anybody, so you can really go back to fundamentals. The bad news is, boy, it's a hard work week. There's no question about it. That's when you try to correct all the mistakes you've made in the first 5 games, and it really is an important time of the year for a football team. You know, Burnet's been so close, and Burnet's got, you know, when you can rely on tradition, honestly, in high school football, wins games for you. And I don't care what anybody says, they get used to winning, they expect to win, and they have an edge. And to try to regain the tradition and try to regain that, you know, that magic, an open day's good, especially after a couple of heartbreaking losses, you know. And Burnet is, always has been, always will be a good football program. So it's just a matter of, I think probably, I bet you this, I bet they're excited to be open this week because they have a lot of things they can work on and get a lot better.
Well, like you said, it might be a blessing, might be a curse. They're on a 2-game winning streak right now, their first winning streak of the season. Obviously, that has to help them. Of course, they're not the only ones on a bye. The entire District 25 3A, the same division Burnet plays in, Lampasas, Salado, Taylor, Llano, everybody's on a bye. Liberty Hill. Do you think that's a good thing, bad thing? Is there an advantage to everybody taking the same bye?
Oh, I don't think it makes much difference. I think really the good thing is that they are on a bye week before they start conference or district play, and that's the good thing. And I think everybody probably will get a bonus out of that. You know, bye weeks are important. I have seen teams get so much better in a bye week that it's not even funny. And I've seen teams, you know, come back, overwork, overdo, whatever, lose enthusiasm, and get worse. So how you handle that week is so very important. And, you know, the good thing about it, Burnet's got a lot to build on. They're getting better every week. You got a lot of inexperienced football players, and a bye week's good right now, I would say, very good.
Yeah. They have about 6 sophomores that they've been relying on heavily. Coach Walker gave us a story that right after the Giddings loss, he talked to the players in the locker room, let everybody change, shower. Then he got his sophomores, took them to his office, sat them down and said, okay, boys, the jitters are now over. We don't have time for you to be nervous under the Friday night lights. Can you kind of give us an impact? What do you think as a young coach, or as a young player, when your head coach takes the time to talk to you and tell you those things, what kind of impact does that have?
Well, that's a great impact. You know, the thing about it, sooner or later you got to enter the arena. And when you get a chance to enter the arena, when you're young, when you're a sophomore, it makes a lot of difference. But to be able to put it on the line and be in a real leadership position as a sophomore is hard to do. And that's why I think after 4 or 5 games, I think an open date is really, really good. And you know, these kids grow up; they grow up fast, and now they're not sophomores anymore because they've already got half a season, so they're nearly juniors. So you know, hopefully they'll play like that.
One of the guys I know who travels all over to different places throughout the Central Texas area trying to find what you think is the top game of the week. Give me some of your thoughts about Central Texas high school football. Is Texas high school football still one of the very best nationally, you think?
Oh, there's no doubt about it, Jennifer. I'll tell you the surprising thing about it is go back 20 years and put yourself back 20 years ago. Central Texas football is great right now. I mean, it is fantastic. We had, there were some, you know, Austin Reagan, and there's been some good football programs around here for years and years, but look at all the great football players in this area right now. And I don't know if they play high school football any better anywhere than they do in Central Texas.
All right. Well, Coach, certainly appreciate the time. Thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to inviting you again and hearing from you soon. And we'll be right back.
Thank you, Jennifer.
We are established. We are qualified. We are certified. We are knowledgeable. We are dependable. We are Ken's Heating and Air. Our people make the difference.
A two-game winning streak definitely brings a lot of enjoyment for a team that's experiencing some success, especially during their bye week. And that's exactly what we're seeing with the Burnet Bulldogs this week. Remember, even though they're on a bye, that doesn't mean they're not working. They're still on the practice field, fine-tuning their offensive and defensive schemes, and they're going to need that, especially facing a very dangerous Lampasas Badger team that is 4-1 on the season. And of course, we're going to be back here next week where we sit down with head coach Doyle Walker and get his thoughts on the Badgers and exactly what the Bulldogs need to do to start off the District 25 3A campaign on the right foot. Till then, I'm Jennifer Fierro. We'll catch you next week.